Maybe one day I'll retire and have a view like this. Well, preferably not in hell, but hey, let's be realistic.
A Damned Soul's Orientation Guide, Chapter 14. The Ultor Corporation. Dane Vogel is an example for what the best of you can become. A businessman who serves as my thrall. This mega-corporation exists at my leisure, and assuming it continues to serve my interests, I will allow it to persist. A Damned Soul's Orientation Guide, Chapter 25. The Forge. For the time being, mineral rights in Hell have been granted to the Ultor Corporation. And the Forge is where they mine and process the materials that are used to build the very foundations of Hell.
Bad place to take in the view.
Know your limits. It was the best piece of advice my father gave me, and I ignored it because I was a fucking idiot. I was the director of special projects for Ultor, and I pissed it all away because my ambition got the better of me. The reality is that I'm a kingmaker, not a king. I'm not going to make that same mistake twice.
Let's see what these things can do.
Damned Soul's Orientation Guide, Chapter 40. Shadow Demons. Relentless assassins. The Shadow Demons teleport from rooftop to rooftop, ensuring that there is no place to run to in Hell.
God, this feels good. Oh, gas prices aren't half bad. A gravel pit? A fucking gravel pit? We're surrounded by floating buildings and rivers of lava. Why in God's name is there a fucking quarry here?
A Damned Soul's Orientation Guide, Chapter 7. The Day to Day. Every day will be terrible.
Try to pick it up.
I'd be a liar if I didn't say I got a little pissed when the would-be president shot me in the face. But after a couple years of reflection, I realized something. They had the same look in their eyes that I have. They were driven. And when I realized that, I knew I wanted to prepare for the moment they would come down to hell, because on that day, I wanted to be standing with the Saints. I knew that when the leader of the Saints came down here, he wasn't going to be interested in hearing what I had to say unless I had a pretty fucking big peace offering. Perfect opportunity came after Blackbeard robbed Satan's palace and stole Lucifer's halo. Blackbeard knew that he had to unload it fast before Synthipol raided the Barrens, so he was willing to put a price on an otherwise priceless artifact. It cost me a fortune, but it was worth it. Satan would never suspect that I had it. I could bide my time until the leader of the Saints was hellbound. My plan was solid, but not even I could predict a shotgun wedding.
The Damned Soul's Orientation Guide, Chapter 11, Eternal Suffering. Often the first instinct a newly damned soul has is to kill himself, hoping that it all gets sorted out the second time around. Well, that's a mistake. The soul explodes into 1,000 pieces and slowly and painfully reforms over the next 100 years. So the next time you see one of those spineless souls running for cover, you'll have a better idea as to why. Why didn't I lead with that tidbit? To punish those who think they can survive without heeding all my words.
Pawn shop in hell. I'll take my chances making a deal with Dane.
Satan forcing Jezebel to marry the president definitely put a wrinkle in things. For one, I wasn't sure if Johnny was going to let me explain the situation before he killed me. For another, I was entrusting the most powerful artifact in the world to someone who had worse impulse control than teens on prom night.
God, this feels good.
A Damned Soul's Orientation Guide, Chapter 12, The Barrens. Once a lovely location for bacchanals and ritualistic murders, the heavenly host laid waste to the Barrens in the last war between heaven and hell. I have forbidden rebuilding the Barrens, so it serves as a reminder for what we lost. Only after I lay siege to heaven will I allow it to return to its former glory.
The Barrens were the only place desolate enough to allow me to build the Queen Anne's revenge in peace. Before I discovered the Barrens, all of my efforts would be overrun by people looking to cause me harm. But here, the energy it would require to ruin my day wasn't worth the wasteland they would have to traverse. Being a pirate with no water to sail on is like being a pirate with no water to sail on. I tried to build a craft that could weather the lava, but each time the craft and crew would erupt in flames. That's why today, the Queen Anne's revenge sails on thermal currents and arcane magic. Yes, the arcane magic is doing the heavy lifting, but I'd like to believe the sails are still doing something.
A Damned Soul's Orientation Guide, Chapter 20, The Flotsam of Hell. Newer souls often marvel at the floating islands that surround Hades. The reality is that those islands are not rock at all, but fossilized remains of the beasts of Babylon. Winged creatures that once served me, but in their hubris dared to believe they could overthrow me. As punishment for their mutiny, I encased them in stone where they flew. To this day, their blood still rains down, burning the pitiful souls that walk below.
The Barrens are as good a home as any pirate could ask for. It's remote, devoid of people, and perilous to get to. Here, I can live as a pirate king for the rest of my eternal days. Robbing galleons and avoiding the crown was a thrill, but it's nothing compared to robbing the denizens of hell. Life without adventure is no... I find fit to live. Here, the stakes are beyond simple life and death. Hell is where I'm meant to be.
The Damned Souls Orientation Guide, Chapter 17, The Battlegrounds. This graveyard is where dead of the previous war on Heaven were buried. Here it is rumored that demons and angels alike haunt this place to this very day.
Note to self. Find a way to control lightning. God, this feels good.
A Damned Souls Orientation Guide, Chapter 38. Imps. Little bundles of pure sin. These adorable mischief makers serve as perfect pets or slave labor.
Well, it's a rock.
I don't know who placed those glyphs that lead to treasure, nor do I care. The chase is all that matters. Some may question why I would bother revealing the location of missing treasure when I could find it myself. But the answer is simple. Competition. With no one else looking for the treasure, there is no incentive for me to find it over robbing other demons. Without another race to find the prize, those chests just sit there dormant. And treasure is meant to be found.
Gotta pick it up.
A Damned Souls Orientation Guide, Chapter 35. The Grunts. Proof that upward mobility exists. The souls selected to be grunts of my army enjoy delights husks could only dream of. Damned Souls Orientation Guide, Chapter 9. The Coming War. The time is coming when the heavenly host and the demonic horde will have their final battle. And while I will personally deal with my father, hell needs a general that will lead us to victory. Vlad was found wanting. I have my sights on another.
Downtown looked like a shithole when I first got here.
In all fairness, you were in hell.
True, but where others saw status quo, I saw opportunity. I knew that if I wanted to revitalize downtown, I would need
You're nothing but a pawn, Gap. And today, I take you off the board.
market and saw that Centerpole was the only game in town for defense and law enforcement.
I'm not through with you, Dex.
Soon, Cerberus Security was founded.
God, this feels good. Hell of a drop. Would love to take Dex up here. Far be it from me to tell the devil how to do his job, but if I was running things, this thing would have guns. Lots and lots of guns. I'm coming for you. Doubt they have enough room in that building to fit all the politicians in hell. Never should have fucked with me.
Damned Souls Orientation Guide, Chapter 15. The Powerful. You'll notice a few souls that don't look like the others. These damned citizens have paid enough wages of sin as tithes to transform their appearance into one reminiscent of their former life.
I'll take this over the 405 any day.
A Damned Souls Orientation Guide, Chapter 19. Downtown. The De Winter sisters have revitalized downtown to make it the destination for high-end debauchery.
Viola and I always did everything together.
Played together,
Went to college together.
traveled together.
Formed a criminal empire together.
I always thought that we would die together.
Sorry, V. Beat you to the punch on that one.
After you died, all I had was revenge. I never thought that I'd...
Feel whole again?
Yeah.
I love you, sis.
You too. If Satan never decided to step out of his ivory tower, he'd realize there's a lot more people gunning for his spot than he thinks. By the time I showed up in Hell, Cerberus and Centerpool were already locked in a bitter fight for dominance in the marketplace.
We never would have pulled ahead if it weren't for you.
You would have pulled it off.
I'm not so sure. The strategy you put together was brilliant on both the martial and marketing side. I'm good at getting things started, but you were the one who always put the exclamation point on a plan. With us reunited, it was only a matter of time before we were on top of the world.
Damned Soul's Orientation Guide, Chapter 23. Centerpole. This privatized militia is one of the two primary peacekeeper groups in Hell. Obey them, and they may only beat you within an inch of your life.
Revitalizing downtown wasn't about profit.
It kinda was about profit.
A little bit.
Like 50%.
The point is that it was also about making an impact. An eternity is a long time, and we both wanted to carve out something beautiful in this terrible place.
Like Dane says, hell's what you make it.
A Damned Soul's Orientation Guide, Chapter 29. The Marshalling Grounds. A marvel of occult engineering, the marshalling grounds allow my armies to travel effortlessly across Hell. Developing the teleportation magic was not without its incidents, however. Few can forget the screams of Trinket the Bear when he was marched forward to be the first test subject.
Things are going perfectly. Downtown was rebuilt in our image, the money was rolling in, we had an amazing penthouse.
But then something happened. Centerpool, who's long since relegated to obscurity, came back with a vengeance.
They had new gear, new weapons, and new purpose. Destroy Cerberus.
Someone is funding them, and we are going to find out who.
Gotta pick it up.
The Damned Soul's Orientation Guide, Chapter 8. The Archdukes. Every marshalling ground is overseen by one of my Archdukes, the fiercest men and women of my army.
God, this feels good. Satan wanted to impress me, he'd have an actual fucking dragon, not just some bullshit statue.
mind if I do. Let's go! Swimming sucks. Lava sucks. Swimming in lava definitely sucks. They have floating platforms and occult stoplights, but they still need a bell tower? Someone's hanging on to the past.
With every plastic cup I find around my castle, my bloodlust grows.
Just think, this castle was probably built to defend against the forces of heaven. Pretty awesome. Hate to see what the student loans look like down here. It's like standing on the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Only it's a building, not a tower. And we're in a slum in hell instead of Italy. But otherwise, it's pretty close. If things go bad at the altar building, this is where I build my new sanctum. I don't think they have safety codes in hell. Let's see what these things can do. What's a prison in hell look like? Oh, single entendres. What would we do without you? This is starting to feel sociopathic. My people have a home. After the boss is safe, I should come by and see what the fuss is about. Whatever. The Silver Bullet is the only strip club worth going to.
Hey, baby, you looking for a bad time?
Maybe. I'll get back to you. Come on! Wonder if Kilbane's inside. Oh look, a satanic cathedral. Nothing creepy about that. Let's see what these things can do. Oh, Ozymandias, you scamp. Let's go! The boss has to be in here somewhere. I wonder how long it took to build this thing. Let's see what these things can do. If Dane wants to run an industrial park, he can be my guest. Aside from the screams of tormented souls, it's actually quite lovely. Using exponential math for gas prices is a special form of evil. Nice job, Dane. Come on! Good job, Sisyphus. Keep running. I don't like going into a pawn shop in Steelport, let alone hell. That is a big arch. Which really doesn't impress me too much, considering I'm surrounded by floating buildings and lava. The air actually feels dirtier the higher you get. These floating platforms are incredible. I wonder how they work. Bet you wish you never stole the boss. Evil politicians. It's like a slice of home. This is traffic in hell? Someone's never been to DC. Matt gave me a shirt with an airbrushed dragon on it for my birthday. It was kind of awesome.
Looking forward to stretching my wings. God, this feels good. Who's laughing now? This seemed like a better idea when people weren't trying to kill me.